Hi everyone and welcome to another reading vlog. So around a month ago I made a poll on Twitter and Instagram asking people what thriller vlog they would rather see. So there were two options. The first was reading thrillers by authors that I've previously gave 5 stars, and the other was reading thrillers by authors that I've never read from before, and the second option won. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. I have 3 books by 3 different authors that I'm planning to get to. I'm hoping I can read all 3 of these. 2 of these are library books that are due back at the weekend, so I'm going to prioritise those first, and also these are the 2 that I most want to get to because they're written by authors that are really popular and that have quite a big backlist. So the first book that I have already started is Pretty Girls by Karin. I didn't realise, but Karin is actually the author's real name. It's not a pen name, so that's quite cool. But I started this last night and I got to page 89, and this is quite a chunky book. I'm kind of regretting starting this one first. The second book that I'm going to be reading, Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister, this actually has a hold on it, so it needs to go back on Saturday. I can't renew it. I kind of wish I'd started with this, but yeah, I'm about 80 pages or 90 pages into Pretty Girls, and I technically read the first chapter of this last year when I did a try a chapter challenge, and I did really like the first chapter. It ends on a very shocking moment. I don't want to say what happens because I feel like that would be spoilery, even though it does happen so close to the beginning. I didn't know what to expect and it really shocked me. But basically there's this event that happens at the start of the book that kind of kicks off the plot. So we're following a main character called Claire, and when she was young her sister went missing. So she had this older sister who was 19 when she went missing, and no one ever found out what happened to her. So it sounds like a very generic thriller plot. I think this came out in 2015, so it's an older thriller now, but I have heard amazing things about this. I've heard that it gets pretty wild and it's quite graphic. I've already experienced that, to be fair. It's quite gruesome, and yeah, Karin doesn't hold back, so I'm interested to see what I think of this. But then, yeah, like I said, I am going to be picking up Wrong Place, Wrong Time next. This is a newer thriller. I think it came out last year, and it's a time travel-y thriller. I think it follows a woman whose son commits a murder, and then she wakes up the next day and finds that she's gone back in time to the day before her son committed this murder. Then the final book that I'm going to be picking up is on my Kindle, and that is The Whisper Man by Alex North. So this, I don't know if it was the first book that Alex North published, but I know that they have another book coming out this year. I think it comes out in a couple of months, or it might be out already, to be fair. I feel like I've seen people reading it on Goodreads, but I don't know whether they're reading arcs or whether it has come out yet. But yeah, this is about a guy who moves to a small town with his son, and this town has a dark history because there was a serial killer that terrorized this town like 10 or 20 years ago, something like that. And now there's things happening in the present day that imply that the guy who was convicted of being this serial killer was actually innocent. I think that's the plot, but I'll tell you more about these books once I get into them. I am hoping to read a good chunk of Pretty Girls tonight. I mean, the writing is flowing really well. I'm reading this very quickly, so even though this is quite chunky, I think it's over 500 pages. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can blast through this in a few days. Did I tell you what this book is about? I think I did. I'll watch the footage back and I'll fill in anything that I missed out. But yeah, there's 3 perspectives so far that we're following. The main character Claire, and then her dad, and then also this woman called Lydia, who I don't know how she ties into the plot yet, but I'm very intrigued to carry on reading this. I'll let you know once I have more thoughts, but otherwise I am gonna pop on my lunch break and I'll catch up with you later. Hello, it is now Tuesday and it's also Pancake Day, so happy Pancake Day. I am currently 223 pages into Pretty Girls, and I keep going back and forth on my feelings about this because it's really quick to read. I was going to say it's easy to read, but that's a lie. It's not easy to read. There's some very graphic descriptions of stuff in this, so just be aware of that if you are interested in this book. But I am finding that when I'm reading, I'm invested in the story, and at first I didn't really like the characters. I felt like they were deliberately written to be unlikable, but the more time that passes, the more I actually understand why the characters are the way that they are. I feel like the synopsis for this doesn't really capture what this book is about, because I actually think what this book is really about is how when someone goes missing, it has this lasting impact on the people who were close to them. And I do feel like this book has a lot to say. I also feel like Karin Slaughter is going to deliver on the twists and turns just based on stuff that's happened already. I feel like this isn't going to go in a simple direction. I feel like there's a lot of layers to this plot, and yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm excited to carry on reading, but I am, because I want to know what's going on.
I'm starting to think that we do things way too differently to take this seriously. And all of the times that we said we go to therapy, but still we've never been.
It is now Wednesday and I have just finished work. It's just gone 5 o'clock. I usually work from the office on Wednesdays, but because it's school holidays this week, most of my team are off, so I didn't want to go in just to sit there by myself. But yeah, it's currently Wednesday and I am going into town this evening because there's this light show thing. I don't really know how to explain it, but hopefully I'll get some good footage later and I can insert it into the vlog so you can see. But once I get home, I would like to try and finish Pretty Girls because I've only got about 100 pages left of this. I'm really close to the end, and the thing is, I think I'm enjoying it, but I don't really know. It's interesting because when you read the synopsis for this, it sounds like a bunch of other thrillers that I've read. It sounds like a very typical thriller plot. However, the reading experience isn't typical. Like, that actually feels unique, and so I do feel like I'm enjoying that. It's very dark though, so I don't know who I would recommend this to other than if you like really, really dark thrillers. I mean, the twists have been good so far, but I don't know. I'm really torn, in case you can't tell. I feel like my enjoyment overall is really going to depend on the ending, because I feel like this could end in a few different ways, and I have a theory and I'm hoping that I'm wrong. Not because I feel like it would be a bad ending, but because this has been really hard to stomach at times. It really takes you through a lot of different emotions. Like, at some points it's been really sad and heartbreaking, and then at other points it's made me feel really, really sick. Like, you know when you get that sick feeling at the bottom of your stomach? It's made my skin crawl quite a bit, but I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy the ending. I feel like this is going to be a solid 4 stars overall, unless I really hate the ending. I also feel like this didn't need to be over 500 pages. It has dragged at times because I felt like it's focused too much on the characters at certain points, and I prefer plot-driven thrillers. And don't get me wrong, there is a plot. It's just, yeah, there's been times where I felt like it's been a little bit repetitive, and also there was one aspect earlier that I really didn't like, and I'm going to be vague because obviously I don't want to go into spoilers, but this has a particular trope that I typically find quite lazy, so I didn't love that. However, I feel like I've been able to move past that, but I'm having to really suspend disbelief. So yeah, that is my rambly update for today. I am going to go get ready to go out, but otherwise I will let you know once I've finished this.
But things don't change, they stay the same. I've gotta go my own way. Yeah, things don't change. I've gotta do better than you for me. You're all about you.
finished reading Pretty Girls by Karin and I think I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I did enjoy it, but I feel like enjoy is the wrong word because there was a lot of violence against women in this that was really difficult to read at times, and I did feel like at times it took things too far and that did impact on my enjoyment. However, there was something very addictive about this writing, and towards the end I could not put this down. It felt like a movie was playing in my mind, so I kind of liked that, but I also didn't like that because of what was actually happening. Yeah, it was a very interesting reading experience, but I would be interested in reading more books by Karin because I did like the writing. Let me know if you've read any of her other books and what you'd recommend, because this is the one that I hear the most about, so I'm not really sure where else to start. I mean, I don't know if start is the wrong word, but I don't know which book to read next after, well, now I've finished this. So yeah, I am going to give this 4 stars. Like I said, I have moved on to the next book that I'm reading for this vlog, and that is Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister, I think is how you pronounce the author's name. So I think this is her latest release. I'm pretty sure it came out last year and I heard amazing things. I think this was also nominated in the Goodreads Choice Awards, and I don't think it won, but I think it came pretty high. So I have been very highly anticipating reading this, and so far I'm enjoying it. I'm about a third of the way through, I think. I had a doctor's appointment earlier and they were running an hour late. So I was sat in the waiting room for over an hour waiting for my appointment, and I managed to get through a good chunk of this. So this is a sci-fi mystery. I think it is more of a mystery rather than a thriller, but we're following a woman called Jen who has a teenage son who's 18, I think. And at the start of the book, Jen is waking up. It's about 1 in the morning and her son hasn't come home yet, so she's starting to feel quite anxious, but then she notices out the window her son walking up the front path to the house, and he suddenly turns around and there's a guy behind him who he ends up stabbing with a knife. The next morning, Jen wakes up and finds that she's gone back in time to the day before it happened, and she keeps going back in time, and it's almost like she's stuck in this like Groundhog Day situation, except that she's going back in time rather than reliving the same day over and over again, and she's convinced that she has to find out how to stop her son from committing this crime in the future. Not sure if I've done the best job of explaining that, but yeah, this is one of those books where you already know what happened, but you're trying to work out why it happened, and I really like that structure. I also like the time travel element to this. I sometimes find with time travel books they can start to feel a little bit repetitive, but I'm not finding that with this, and the chapters are really short, so it's flowing really well, and yeah, I'm just excited to carry on reading. I'm hoping to get to the halfway point tonight and then I can try and finish it tomorrow. This is due back at the library on Saturday, but I also have the ebook also from my library on my phone, so I can always switch to that if I need to. I don't know how many books Gillian McAllister has out. It looks like possibly she's got 6 of the books according to this, but I've heard that this isn't even her best work, and a lot of people really loved this, so I like the idea that if I enjoy this then the only way is up. So I am just about to head out to the gym, hence why I look like this. But I thought I would quickly update the vlog first because I am now halfway through Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I stayed up way too late reading this last night because I was obsessed and I need to know what's happening or what happened. I don't really know how to phrase it because obviously we're working backwards in time, but yeah, I really love the mystery in this, even though I think I have worked something out. I don't know if I'm right, because if I am right then certain things aren't really adding up, so yeah, I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping that this is going to have some really good twists, but yeah, really excited to carry on reading this. I am hoping to finish it tonight and then I'll let you know my final thoughts. So I have just finished filming my March TBR, and I thought I would film a quick vlog update while I've got the camera and everything set up, but I wanted to let you know I did actually finish Wrong Place at Wrong Time last night, and I am so proud of myself. I am gonna be honest, I thought at the start of this week that there was no chance that I was gonna finish this before Saturday, but I did it. This was so addictive. Every time that I picked it up and I started reading, I didn't want to put it down. I think I am going to give it 4 stars rather than 5 stars because I did find that it dragged a little bit in places, especially towards the end, because I kind of worked out what was going on and I felt like I was just waiting for the main character to catch up, and so it did start to feel a little bit tedious. However, I liked how twisty this was. There were so many pieces to the puzzle, and at certain points my brain was so confused because I felt like all of the pieces were there, I just didn't know how to slot them together yet. So yeah, I would really recommend this if you're looking for a good fast-paced mystery. I think it would be a really good book to buddy read because there's a lot that you can theorise on, and I had so many theories as I was reading this. Some of them did turn out to be correct, but some of them I was completely wrong about. So yeah, really enjoyed this. So like I said, 4 stars, and I have now made a start on the final book that I'm reading for this vlog, which is The Whisper Man by Alex North. So I think Alex North has 3 books under this name, but he also published quite a few books under a pen name before The Whisper Man came out. But I have been really intrigued about this book for a while because it came out in 2019, and I can remember a lot of people talking about it and giving it a lot of hype. And Alex North also has a new book that's either just come out or it's coming out later this year. So yeah, I've been really interested to see what I think of his writing, and so far I'm enjoying it. I'm only like 50 pages in, but I'm intrigued. So this is set in a small town where around 20 years ago, this serial killer called the Whisper Man terrorised the people of this town, and he murdered 5 boys. Basically, he would lure them out of their homes by whispering to them at their windows, and that's how he got the name the Whisper Man. This guy was actually caught, like he's in prison right now at the start of the novel, and we're following the detective who put this guy behind bars because in the present day another boy has just gone missing, and it seems like there's links between what happened back then and what's happening now. There's actually multiple points of view because we're also following another detective on the case, and we're also following this man and his son who have recently moved to this town after the guy's wife passed away. So far I really like the atmosphere, and the intrigue is definitely there. I do like detective thrillers or crime thrillers that are following some sort of investigation, so I have high hopes that I'm going to really like this. I'm going to head to the library this afternoon to drop these back, but then we're also going for tapas afterwards, which I'm really looking forward to. I think we're going to go for a few drinks afterwards as well, so I don't know how much more reading I'm going to get done today, but hopefully I can make some good progress on The Whisper Man tomorrow and then let you know what I think of it. I feel like this vlog is going really well so far. I don't want to rush The Whisper Man though, because I feel like I've read 2 very fast-paced books that I didn't rush because I wanted to read them because I needed to know what was going to happen. But yeah, I'm hoping to take my time with The Whisper Man so I don't burn out. I mean, I don't think I'm going to burn out because I'm really enjoying reading at the moment, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Saturday wanted to call, but I never know what to say. Taking pictures with my phone, distracting me from my brain. It's 2 p.m. You said just friends. The fuck happened? Yeah, I dreamed I had a million things to hold me over till you call, and now you're somewhere with someone else, and I've got nobody at all to break my fall.
It has been a few days since I last updated this vlog. I think I filmed an update on Saturday, but then I didn't really read much over the weekend and I wasn't in a very good mood, so I didn't want to film and feel like I was forcing myself to talk to the camera. But it's now Tuesday. I'm now around, I think, 40-something% of the way through The Whisper Man, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's very creepy. Like, the further that I get into it, the creepier things become, and I actually had to stop reading last night because it was just really creeping me out. It's got that very unsettling atmosphere, which I'm liking. I will say that I'm preferring some perspectives more than others, so I guess you could say that this story is split in two. So you have the police investigation where they're looking for this missing boy, but then you also have the other side where this father and son have moved to this town, and yeah, creepy stuff is happening in this new house. That is a trope that I like. I like a creepy house setting. Interested to see what direction this goes in, because I don't know if it's going to be paranormal or whether there's a more human explanation for stuff that's going on. I don't know what I prefer, actually. I guess I wouldn't mind if it does become a bit more ghostly, but yeah, really liking the atmosphere so far. The other side of the plot, where we're following the police investigation, I'm not enjoying that as much, and I can't quite put my finger on why it is, because I usually like books that follow police investigating stuff, so not really sure why I'm not clicking with those characters, but I am hoping that this is going to lean more into the creepy side of things. I don't know whether this is going to be like a super twisty thriller, but as long as the atmosphere continues how it has been, then I think I am going to like it. I can't remember if I said, but it is currently Tuesday and I'm working from home today, but I'm working from the office tomorrow, and then I'm also going to go and see my nan after work because she's not been very well recently, so I don't know whether I am going to be able to finish this book by tomorrow. I would like this vlog to go live on Thursday, but yeah, we'll see if I actually manage that. Okay, so before I get into my final thoughts on The Whisper Man, can I just say I think this is actually the most successful reading vlog that I've ever done on my channel, because I've ran all of these books through Corpile now and all of them came out as 4.5 stars, which, yeah, I don't think has ever happened. I don't think I've ever had a vlog where I've loved all of the books this much, and I wasn't expecting it because obviously I've never read from any of these authors before, but I would definitely read from them all again, which is, yeah, really good considering that was kind of the purpose of this vlog. I really enjoyed The Whisper Man. I feel like it took me a little while to get into it, but once I was into it, I was hooked. And I think I said earlier that I wasn't sure if this was going to be like a super twisty thriller, but there were a few twists and turns that I did not see coming. This also gave me a lot of nostalgia, weirdly, and I don't really know how to explain it, but I used to love watching CSI and Criminal Minds and TV shows like that, and so yeah, I feel like The Whisper Man reminded me of why I love reading crime thrillers, because it just gave me that feeling that I can't really explain. I won't say if this is actually paranormal because I don't know if that would be spoilery, but obviously if you want to know then just leave me a comment and I can tell you, but I don't feel like it would spoil things, but also I feel like some people would consider it a spoiler, so yeah, I just won't say anything to be on the safe side. Almost forgot to say trigger warnings in this for alcoholism and also domestic abuse and child abuse. It wasn't as detailed as Pretty Girls, but it was still quite dark in places, so I did want to mention that. My only small criticism was I think it could have had more tension at times. There was a lot of suspense, but I felt like it was holding back and it could have gone just a little bit further. But yeah, like I said, 4.5 stars. I don't know why, but I always struggle to give thrillers that full 5 stars, and I think it's it's because I'm a lot more critical when it comes to reading thrillers. I also think it's because when I read a thriller, I want to feel that sinking feeling in my stomach where I'm gripped and where I can't put it down, because I feel like that's the purpose of a thriller. So when I get that feeling, to me, it's like, well, that's what the book should be doing. That's like the bare minimum. So yeah, I think that's why I sometimes struggle to feel like I can give thrillers 5 stars. But I mean, all of these were 4.5 stars, all of the books that I read in this vlog. So I might round up for some of them on Goodreads. I haven't decided yet, but either way, I feel like this has been a really successful reading vlog, so I'm happy. I think I am gonna wrap things up here though, so thanks for watching. If you made it this far, let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. Let me know as well, what was the last thriller that you gave 5 stars? Because I feel like it's been a long time since I last had a 5-star thriller, even though I could give all of these thrillers 5 stars because they were basically 5 stars. I'm just really stubborn. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click subscribe if you would like to see more videos from me. But otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye.